Party PreCure is almost saying goodbye to us, and it's finishing with a blast. What a battle! What a battle this was. Lots of great fighting scenes in episode 44, which is the episode we're talking about today. Hello everyone, it's Lel, and in this video we're going to talk about episode 44 from Delicious Party PreCure. We only have one episode left. This closed so many things and it gave us a lot more scope on Yui as a character, and girl, I just love her more and more and more. Every time she acts, every time she talks, it just gives me the chills because she is a very powerful protagonist, in my opinion. I really like her, and I really liked the way she dealt with Fennel in this episode. So we started the episode with where we left off in the last one with the battle, and the girls and Mari were battling Godats or Fennel, and then Precious came in at the right moment. It was so nice. This is one of the things I love when we have last battles in PreCure, is that we're able to see the attacks that we usually see in stock footage outside of stock footage. So today we were able to see the Precious Triangle attack, which is one of my favorite attacks from Delicious Party. So this made me very happy. I loved seeing that. It was very fast, yes, but it was cool. And we could see Mari's face shocked looking at the attack. Girl, I loved that moment. And right at that moment, we could see the girls eating the onigiri and, powering up again because the Hoka Hoka hearts were blooming all over the world. But Fennel had another plan. He used the Spiritoru bots to capture all the Manekinekos, who were the Hoka Hoka Hearts accumulators. And so he was able to stop the power from spreading, and with that he was able to withstand the attack of the girls and, become even stronger than them. But Mari was using that technique of trying to seal the stone, the power of the stone, from Fennel, and it was kind of working, but at this point it wasn't working anymore. Fennel got super strong and he fused both of his stones and he kind of lost control and he became that big thing. And look, I love Fennel, I love Godats, I'm always going to defend him, but I will never defend that look. He looked horrible, it was very uninspiring, a very boring design. No. Just no, that was very, very, very bad. At that moment, he was able to beat the girls. The girls were not able to withstand the fight any longer. And we could see a little bit more on Ginger. Because, not really on Ginger, but we could understand a little bit more on the true power of the Hoka Hoka Hearts accumulators. We could see the Manekinekos, powering up again and stopping the Spiritoru bots, but then we have Narcisoru actually stopping Spiritoru and contacting the girls and sharing that moment with them. I loved that scene so much. It was really nice seeing the ex-villains using their knowledge to help the girls, and it's a way of showing that they don't agree with everything that Godats has been doing. Narcisoru hasn't never really agreed with that. It was just the place that he felt that he was valid. And Seikiritoru used to think that the world Godats would bring would be better for her. And now it was clear that she is changing her mind over, and her views are changed now. But a very interesting moment was when Yui was able to stand up, and the girls, obviously, were able to stand up. They were not transformed. They were weak. They were powerless. We could see that the fairies didn't have the energy in their hearts, and they were still trying and communicating with the girls, but they got their power back because of the Hoka Hoka Hearts accumulators. And because of that power, we could also have Takumi, Black Pepper, and Cinnamon. They were back and they joined the fight as well. They healed the girls. The girls were able to transform again and, try and battle Fennel once more. At that moment, we also had lots of Manekinekos from all over the world joining the fray. And that was because Cinnamon, while he was traveling the world, took Manekinekos from from Oishina Town to all over the world. And here is a point in which I believe the series could have worked better because we barely saw Cinnamon in Delicious Party. We saw him in certain moments. He was talked about a lot. But if we saw him taking those manekinekos all over the world and we had a little bit more focus on that, that scene would have been way more significant and way more powerful than it was. It was emotional, yes. I felt happy when I saw all of them from all over the world, even the Maida one, but still, it could have been stronger. Because if you think about it, the show could have connected the dots a little better. Cinnamon was expelled from Cookingdom. So if you think about that character who was sad, who was lonely, he was able to find solace in Oishina Town with a family. The impact that Yone had in Oishina Town was obviously reflecting on him, and that also reflected on his actions in taking the manekinekos all over the world. So food for Cinnamon is very important. Even after he was banned from Foodland, which is Cookingdom, he still kept that love for food. So that was very strong inside him because he took the manekinekos all over the world. Why didn't the series work with that a little more? That is very sad. There was another thing in this episode that I found kind of weird and I forgot to mention while recording, so I'm just recording this little audio, which is I thought that everything that Fennel did in episode 43 was reversed very easily. Very easily. The cures didn't have to do basically anything. The Hoka Hoka Hearts accumulator that Ginger created did all the job. So, like, the role of the cures in this was kind of disappointing because they deserved to be a little bit more prominent on this part as well. But they just didn't have to do anything. The Hoka Hoka Hearts accumulator did everything together with the power of the recipes, and they resolved everything and everything was perfect. The girls just actually had to deal with Fennel, which was nice. Don't get me wrong, I loved the parts of Yui dealing with Fennel, but, you know, I feel like they should have had a bigger role in saving the world as well. Continuing on, the girls were healed and they were able to transform again and fight. And girl, that fighting scene was everything. We have a moment of Yui sharing her thoughts and her feelings. And we have a very nice moment of an insert song. Girl, the group song is everything. That song is so good and it was so nice that they played while the girls were battling and having their moment. That was so good. I really loved it. And then Yui started sharing her philosophy once again. And she started saying that all of the things about food and about smiles and about how food brings smiles to people and a full plate can bring people together and everything. And there's also another important thing that Yui brought to her speech, which was the thank you. Because Yui has been a character who relied a lot on other people in the show. And this time she was able to look at everyone in their eyes and say thank you. I loved that moment because the four girls, they have a very strong relationship. They were always relying on each other. And we could see how happy they looked and how, you know, how they have this connection, this friendship, and how they trust and believe in each other at that moment. And also Yui thanking Mari and Black Pepper and Cinnamon. It was great. It was very, very nice. And then we had lots of great battling moments and lots of intense moments. One thing I didn't really like about this battle was before the girls actually started fighting, how they had to be defended by all those cats. That was very irritating. Like, can't the girls be a little stronger? But overall, they were able to showcase their might. And it was very nice also seeing like Yui get the cat and hug the Manekineko, and that Manekineko giving the Hoka Hoka hearts back to the girls. It was really cool because it resonates perfectly with Yui's feelings. And there was another thing that I really enjoyed about all of this, which is there was a moment in which that big giant Manekineko defended Cure Precious and Ginger appeared. And Ginger talked about his message to the new generation. The message is basically food is smiles. And everything that Fennel was trying to do was because he was not able to be chosen by the stones, by Ginger, and even by the Manekinekos and the Hoka Hoka Hearts. Why weren't they powering him up as well? He was never chosen by anyone. And that was causing him pain. And so why didn't the words from Ginger resonate with him? He can't connect to those words. And he is doing his best not to connect with them, because those words that Ginger said are Yone's words. And the same thing that he is going through, Yui has gone through as well. Ginger is gone, and Fennel lost the person he admired the most, just like Yui. Her grandmother Yone is dead, and she lost the person she admired the most. How was she able to deal with this? And we could see how Yui dealt with this since her grandmother died, because we could see her at the funeral. She was sad, and we saw that moment in past episodes. But now we see a new scene at that moment. Yui was smiling at the end because her grandmother was going to still be alive inside of her with her philosophies. And that I really loved that scene, because we could have this mashup between Yui talking about her and the narrator, who is her grandmother, talking as well, like if they were talking to each other. That was very beautiful. And the image of Yone appearing in Yui's eyes, that was also gorgeous. I loved that. So it's easy. Fennel and Yui are going through the same thing, have gone through the same thing, but they dealt with it very differently. But that was the point that Yui noticed, that Fennel has been going through the same. So she felt the need to help him. So she started trying to talk to Fennel and trying to understand Fennel. And she could, but Fennel couldn't. And his thoughts and feelings got all mixed up, and the stones fused, and he couldn't control the power anymore. And when he started crying, the girls noticed that he couldn't simply be saved with a conversation. And I love that moment. It was very bittersweet because we could see Mari watching that scene and crying as well, because Mari has a connection to Fennel. They were friends, they were cookfighters together, they have this complicity and they know each other, and Mari was feeling it. The girls were also feeling it. They were having a hard time dealing with the fact that Fennel was also suffering. He is a tragic villain. He is that villain that went to the wrong side because he was never chosen. He saw everyone around him being chosen by the people they love, and he was left behind. And who couldn't relate to that? I understand, not all of us turn to villains because of it, but some do. And the cures are there. Yui was there to reach a helping hand. And that is what she did. You know, she gathered all her power. The girls all gathered their powers, and they went to try and save Fennel. And that was the best fighting scene of the episode for me. We could see, you know, Spicy getting fired up with Pom Pom, and then Yum Yum with Men Men, Black Pepper with Finale. That was kind of weird. I really wanted a moment between Finale and the Parfait de CPP, because I feel like the build up and the relationship they created, it could have been referenced here a little more than it was. I mean, the Parfait de CPP appeared, but we couldn't see their relationship with Finale at all. And so Yui was the only one that was left to do the last blow. And she really did. the Maneki Neko, helping her get close to Fennel or Godots, and she did. I love that moment. Yoshiyama Yu is amazing. I love the way she deals with animation. I loved the impact frames. And there was a very interesting frame, baby. It was one frame only, an impact frame, and we could see the KURURUN silhouette in this frame. Can you see it? Can you see KURURUN there? Baby, KURURUN is simply legendary. We love KURURUN. We stand KURURUN. KURURUN is KURURUN. Anyways, so Fennel was able to become Fennel again, but he ended up falling. Oh, we had Like My Delicious performed, which is another thing that I didn't enjoy about this episode. They could have fought in the power-up forms. But there is another nice thing about it. We barely had good fights in Delicious Party, so let's have a good fight with their regular costumes in Delicious Party. So let's say, okay, we have one super grand, powerful fight in Delicious with their regular costumes. So, and then we have the Like My Delicious attack. The stones were separated. The dark stone is gone, and Fennel was Fennel again. But we ended up the episode with Yui reaching out to Fennel, because that is who Pure Precious is, and I love her for it. So I just forgot to talk a little bit more about Secret-Rouge joining in and helping the girls. It was great in this last battle as well, talking about the stones and how they could, just give it an impact and separate them. So she was the one who directed the attack. So Secret-Rouge and Narcisse-Rouge really helped in this last battle. We could also see Surfle acting a little bit, which was also very interesting. So very, very good. Really, really enjoyed this episode. I'm gonna be honest, I still think episode 43 was better because it was very emotional. But still, this battle was very interesting too. Very, very powerful. KURURUN appearing, everything to me. And I really want to see more of Fennel. I still think the next episode can give us a little more on his motives, because I really want to see this suffering part of him, this tragic part of him, by not being chosen, being the excluded one, being worthless. That's how he feels about himself in other people's eyes. So I really want to see more of that. And it seems that we're going to have things like that in the next episode. We could see Mari, with a sad look on their face. But it's almost time to say goodbye to Delicious Party. Did you enjoy this last battle? What was your favorite moment? Please let's talk about it in the comment box. For me, it was Yui's last punch. Girl, it was everything. I stan Pure Precious. I love her. Anyways, babies, this was my opinion on episode 44 from Delicious Party PreCure. Please share your opinions as well in the comment box below. Let's keep talking about it. Anyways, just want to take this little time to thank the members of the Magical Cinnamon channel. If you are a member, thank you very much for your support. And if you've watched up the channel, thank you so much as well. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye bye.